Hello everyone, I am Carla and James C. Pipito and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll walk you through a C program that solves a problem that called sentence statistics. This task is to analyze a line of text and output different six statistics, so including character counts, word data, and palindromic checks. Now, let me show you the task. So in order to make this video clear and concise for you, I'll code it first, then I will explain line by line what is the purpose of the code and what is the functionality of that code. So let's go. So now that I am done constructing my code, I will now explain it to you line by line. So let's start with the header. So in the header guys, I include stdio.h to access the printf and scanf. Then I include stdlib.h to access the malloc, alloc, and free. Then of course the string.h to access the strlen, strcut, strcmp, and other string. So then I also include the C type. This C type is in order for us to access the to lower. Then of course I define the max length 200. Then here I declared some functions that we will going to use. So first is reverse string, then with a parameter str. So and here int vowel and s letter with one parameter. Then now let's start with this function. So this function obviously function it reverse string. So inside this function I made a for loop. So in this for loop, by the use of this for loop, so this line here, when you can see in the output, so this line here will be possible because of this function. So I made it a function to make it cleaner and simpler to debug or to access. Then now let's proceed to the second function, which is I named it s letter. So there is a one parameter. So in this function, checks whether a character is a valid English, then it returns true. It returns true if A and Z, so between these letters and this. So this is important in order for us to process the actual English vowel. So when as you can see in the output, in order for us to get the vowels and constant, this plays a very important role for us to process the valid English letters, so that there is no error in our program. So in the third function, I named it s vowel. Then this function is simply to check whether the character is a vowel. So the purpose of this function is to convert the vowels to or the characters that input by the user into lowercase. So then it returns this. So this works in case insensitively by the help of toLower. So that's it. Then now let's proceed to the main function. So in the main function, we define a line array to hold user's input with space for 200 characters plus null terminator. So this line, so the max length is 200. We defined it before. Then this is a null terminator. Then we also create a clean version of the line that will eventually store only lowercase letter. This will help us to check later some palindrome. So in order to check some palindrome later, we must include this clean version. Then here I define the length, word count, and vowel count. So by the help of by the use of the function that I defined before, then this initializer or initialized number here will be incremented. So if the system will can see that there are words, so this 0 here will be incremented. Then this here is in order for us to compare the first word and the last word if they are identical. Then here I also declared in word and first word. So as you can observe, this part here is declared before this one. So before this one. So because when the user will see that will see this line here, they will input directly some characters. So we need to declare this first. Then here we prompt the user with a message and use fgets to safely read up to 200 characters including spaces and punctuation. Then we immediately store the length of the input using strlen. This length includes visible characters but not the null terminator. So these parts of the code here is responsible for processing the input line by scanning it character by character to identify words, count vowels, and consonants, and also build a clean version of the text that only contains lowercase letters. So here how it works in detail. So the program first initializes two variable, which is the clean idx equals to 0, then this start, which will store the index where the word begins. It then loops through the input line, examining each character one by one, up to and including the null terminator, to ensure no words are missed at very end. So this is the responsible of those kind of works. Then inside the loop there is a if statements. Then the purpose of this S letter here is it checks if the start of the new word by verifying that it is not already inside the word. Then if so, it marks the start index and sets a flag indicating that word has begun, regardless of whether it's start in the middle of the word or the letter is converted into lowercase and added to the cleaned string here. And then the program also checks whether the character is vowel or consonants using S vowel. So this S vowel. So whether if the word is consonant, this program here will be terminated or will be processed. Then if the current character is not letter, for example, there is a space or a punctuation, or mark number, and then the program was in the middle of the word that indicates the word has just ended. The program then calculates the word length, extract the word from the original input using strcpy. So here, by the use of this, so it checks, so as you can see in the comments, it indicates end of a word. Then this part here is for converting into lowercase. Then word count. So here, if there are characters that are non-letters, it will ignored entirely for the cleaned string. They are entirely added nor processed further. Once the loop completes, the program adds a null terminator to the clean string so it becomes a valid C string. Here, in this part, it checks if the first word and the last word are identical. So this is a conditional statement. Then if this is true, then this will be printed. The words are identical. Else, the first and last words are not identical. This part of the code, it checks whether the clean version of the input line is a palindrome. That is a string that reads the same forward and backward. Here how it works in simple terms. So first, it creates a new character called reversed clean here, which will store a reversed version of a clean string. It copies the clean string into an array using strcpy. So we don't modify the original clean version. Then it calls reverse string. So here. Then after reversing, it compares the clean version, the clean string, and the reversed one using strcmp here. If the two strings are exactly the same and the clean string isn't empty, check do I make sure that the clean IDX is greater than 0. So here. So if this is true, so it means that the string input by the user is a palindrome, or else the clean string is not a palindrome. Then, so the final part of the program is to output the statistics. First it prints the total number of visible characters. So here, as you can see here. Then the input line using length variable. So here. Then printing the total words by the counted in word count or stored in the word count variable. Then the total vowels as well as the total consonants. Here is to output the original line reversed characters, not words. Remove trailing new line, inline if present for nicer display. So here. This outputs the reversed word of the string input by the user. So if we will going to run this program, so let's say, so as you can see, enter a line that is maximum of 200 characters. So let's say I am very happy to see you here. So we can see that the first and last words are not identical. So this is very obvious, no? So then the clean string is not a palindrome, and the total visible characters excluding the null terminator is 33. Then the total words are 8. So let's see if this is true. So let's count the words 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is true. So now the system said that there are 11 vowels, then 13 consonants. Then this is the reversed order in the stream. So guys, that's how you make a sentence statistics using C program. So if you want more videos like this, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Peace.